Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bitcoin update. A much needed update on the Bitcoin price action in the short term, medium term, and long term. I'm personally very confident about the long-term structure of Bitcoin right now, but it's the medium term and short term that are really raising eyebrows in the cryptocurrency market. So we'll look at monthly returns, we'll look at the short term, medium term, and long term, and we'll give you the best possible plan for profiting over the coming weeks. Guys, let's get into it. All right, guys, before we get into the content today, let's check out the VIP group on Telegram. As you can see on Telegram, we have Wolves of Crypto VIP, and we have the information and results group right here, where you can gain access to the information and results as per the name, the prices, what you're actually getting for the group, as well as a 30-day free trial info on that, and also the historical trading results, including an 80.5% win rate, and how we've come to that win rate with every single trade we've ever taken, the profit, the loss, the date. Everything's there, so go ahead and check it out for free. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the content. Guys, Bitcoin has skyrocketed to the upside, of course. We've broken out of this blue trend line here, which is a 1,000-day long resistance line, as you can see on the weekly chart. We also broke on the weekly chart. This is just recapping information here, but it's very important to understand. We also broke out on the weekly chart this descending wedge formation that we're forming on RSI. We have no real pressing RSI resistance at this point in time. Nothing really coming up in the RSI on the weekly chart. Nothing really too concerning there. Monthly chart's the same story. So weekly chart, we're in the clear. You know, weekly chart made good moves. As I said, we broke out of this 1,000-day resistance. We broke out of bull market support band. We're very well above that right now. We broke above Gaussian channel. We held that Gaussian channel for support throughout the entirety of this 6-7 month period here. It was all pretty good. It looks pretty nice. And weekly chart's not a problem. Monthly chart, of course, we can flip into monthly chart right now and just come to the same conclusion, really. Monthly chart looks great. All you need to do is just remove everything from the chart and just realize that this massive green candle, right, was very, very good news, especially after the rejections and the struggling we were seeing around this yellow line I just drew in. You know, we saw rejection from that yellow line, broke above it, held off support, dropped below, now he skyrocketed back above it, so it's great to see. So the longer time frames themselves, monthly chart, weekly chart, even like 4-year cycle, cyclical theory based, everything looks great on long term, and the long term structure is very much strong. So long as we may remain above 32k, as you can see, 32k is kind of a line in the sand between kind of this bull market region and this bear market region. So long as we remain above 32k, Bitcoin is actually in a very, very good macro position, and there's nothing that can be faulted about it. Now, speaking about macro position, total cryptocurrency market cap is still at brief resistance. Right now, we are still, as I just said, right, we have this 32k line on Bitcoin. As you can see, I just drew it in there, 32k on Bitcoin. As I said, it divides this region here from this region here. Total cryptocurrency market cap, which is a chart that measures every single dollar in cryptocurrency market, is still at that resistance. So again, there's the bull market period here, bear market period here. We're still at resistance, so we haven't really broken out yet. We're in the midst of a breakout now, but it's not confirmed yet. So yeah, I suppose there isn't, we're not completely out of the woods on the macro, but we certainly are 95% in a good position on long term, monthly chart, weekly chart, cyclical theory, cyclical chart. So it all really comes down to medium term now and short term. And that's going to be the focus of this video. Now, it's not going to be too long of a video because I don't have too much to say about it, but I do want to give you guys a short term update on Bitcoin and show you exactly what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, before we do that, the monthly returns chart on Bitcoin, I will give a brief little analysis for, right? Basically, we've had there's a few months within the year, right? So for example, September, October, for example, even looking at something like April, there's a few months in the year that show very predominantly green or predominantly red trends. And so, for example, September was, the trend was red September. We were expecting to see a red September. We didn't quite see red September, but we saw just barely green. So it's almost the same thing. We were expecting to see a very green October. We saw a green October. This is just based on historically what's happened, right? We've seen many, many green Octobers before. Therefore, it stands to reason we can see a green October again. As for November, which is the month we're in right now, there's no real trend as to what we're meant to see like there is with September, October, and March, or with April, sorry. There's no real overarching underpinning point where November's meant to be red or meant to be green, or historically November has been green or red. It hasn't. It's been a pretty mixed bag in terms of a month. But what it has been is volatile, okay? We've only had 2 historical Novembers in the entirety of Bitcoin's price action where we've seen less than 10% gain or loss. So November, it's not red or green, but it's volatile. So whatever we see happen here in November for Bitcoin, it will be a volatile month. It will be a month in which we will be moving dramatically from the point at which we started. Now, Where did we start? Well, we started on Bitcoin. We started October up here at 35K. So it does stand to reason that the volatility after, a massive 41% move to the upside or 44% move to the upside from the recent low here in 24K, it does stand to reason that we're in much need of a correction. November's meant to be volatile. And it does stand to reason that hence Bitcoin could see quite a significant correction within the month of November. That's a reasonable conclusion to come to. Okay, I don't think it's unreasonable. So that's an interesting thing to consider. Now, I don't think the Bitcoin charts. I've made this very clear before. I don't think the Bitcoin charts are particularly easy to predict on short term. But I think they do lean a lot more bearish than they do bullish. Now, I'm going to explain that. I'm going to unpack that in a second. But what I want to say is this, first and foremost. First and foremost, we have an upwards trend going on here. Okay, a strong upwards trend. Not just an upwards trend recently, but an upwards trend stemming all the way back from September 12th. So, 2 months ago, with consistently making higher lows, okay? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher highs. I mean, that's the upwards trend we're seeing. It's very, very clear. There's no doubt about that. But within upwards trends, obviously you reach a point where you see exhaustion. And even within bullish upwards trends, you see a point in which you need to see a healthy correction. I think that it stands to reason that Bitcoin could be coming to that point now. All right, we've seen volume decreasing massively throughout this upwards trend move. So for example, at the start of the move, volume was actually increasing. All right, and it was increasing all the way until we reached 34K. And as of recently, we're still maintaining the upwards trend, but the volume is actually decreasing while we're in this upwards trend, which means that the upwards trend is not as strong as it once was. There are still people buying. There is still bullish pressure. The bulls are still in charge, but there's less and less people willing to buy as the price goes higher and higher because they're understanding that it can't sustain for too long. Exactly the same thing happens when downwards moves go for too long as well. So volume's looking bad. RSI is looking bad as well, to be quite honest with you, because even though short term we're doing well on RSI, we are also at very strong resistance. This red line on RSI on the daily chart on the bottom of the screen here at 89.2 is a level that we've rejected from consistently all the way back here since April 2019. We haven't actually broken above it since April 2019. That's 3-4 years ago, guys. So, we rejected from that recently. We've also got, on top of all of that, a bearish divergence, very clear bearish divergence forming on the RSI, where we've seen, as I'm circling right now on the price chart, higher highs, but lower highs on the RSI. So, to act as though Bitcoin is short-term bullish right now, or will move upwards in the short term right now, is I don't think it's a strong position. I don't think there's a strong case for that. I think the most likely move for Bitcoin is a retracement. But the reason why I'm a little bit uncomfortable in making any significant claims is because I'm uncomfortable labeling Bitcoin from a market pattern perspective. Right, because obviously, momentum indicators, RSI, volume, they all say one thing, right? They all say Bitcoin's bearish, but there's no actual definitive market pattern right now. Now, you might look at the screen and think, what do you mean there's no definitive market pattern? You literally have an ascending channel drawn. The problem with this ascending channel is that we've only seen 2 retests of either side, which means it's actually not a valid channel, right? It's actually a speculative channel. This is not a valid market pattern. This is just what I think it looks like. So there's no validity in the market pattern, which means we don't know what the market pattern is, which means we don't really know when the breakout will occur. Usually when you're trading, right, and this is not just usually, this is in 95% of trades any trader takes, they will identify a market pattern, a valid market pattern, and then they will trade depending on the breakout. So if we break out, you would trade at the breakout, or breakout, you trade at the breakout. The problem with the situation we're in right now is that we've identified that the momentum is bearish, we've identified it's likely to go downwards, but we don't actually know where the point of breakout will be because we don't have a valid market pattern. We don't have a market pattern that's been retested 5 times at least, and so it's not valid. And so there's no significant or no valid way for us to identify the point of breakout. That's the problem we're in right now. So you could make the case that the point of breakout would have to be at the nearest low, and that would be down here at this lowest red line, which would actually be sitting at around 33.2k. The problem with that is that by the time we get to 33.2k, we've already seen the vast majority of the move downwards, and so shorting is just a waste of time. So, the position we're in right now, it's clearly bearish. There's no doubt about that. It's clearly a more bearish position than it is bullish, but it's mostly just untradeable. It's mostly just not really something that's worth touching from a trading perspective. And it's not really something we can be too confident about any particular direction because there's no valid market pattern yet. Now, what would be ideal? It'd be ideal if tomorrow we went upwards, we went downwards, and we bounced, and we rejected, and then we'd have a valid market pattern, and then we could make very clear opinions about Bitcoin. But we just simply can't do that right now. We can, however, very clearly understand it's bearish, and we can look at Ethereum to kind of understand that a bit further. Ethereum and Bitcoin are very highly connected charts. This is the Ethereum daily chart, and you can see on the Ethereum daily chart that we've got a large descending channel formation. Now that is a bullish formation, of course, okay? Descending channels are bullish, they generally break to the upside, and so this is throwing a little bit more doubt in the Bitcoin situation, but even though it's a bullish formation, even though it generally breaks to the upside, we are at resistance right now. Okay, so until that resistance breaks, we can't be sure of anything, for Ethereum and hence for Bitcoin. But right now, being at resistance on Ethereum is certainly not good for Bitcoin, which is at significant weakness. Now, on the other hand, if we break out on Ethereum, then that could be good for Bitcoin. It could give us the momentum to move up to this red box. So what is the best case scenario for Bitcoin? The best case scenario is we move upwards to this red box at 38K, 37.5K, and we reject from there, and then we see a healthy correction from there. That would be the best case scenario. What is the more likely scenario? It's very difficult to say because we have no market pattern, but based on the indicators we do have, which I don't think are enough to be tradable, that's a very important distinction to make, but based on what we do have, I would say the most likely move is actually a move downwards now to something like 33.4 or even 32 before bouncing like that and seeing a retest of this yellow line on RSI, so correction downwards to that RSI line and then more upwards price action. That's what I'd say is the most likely thing. I'm just personally not even confident enough to trade it because we just don't have a market pattern yet. Now, if tomorrow, as I said, we flip back into the charts and there's a market pattern there that we can actually trade, we can actually be confident about, it's a different story. We just don't have that right now. Previously, we had a bullish argument on Bitcoin relating to Bitcoin dominance. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And I'll go ahead and overview the Bitcoin chart onto it. You can see that, and let me pin it to a new scale so we can get this sorted out and show you exactly what's going on here. Here we go, logarithmic, there we go. All right, so basically, as you can see, Bitcoin, there we go. The Bitcoin's in orange, okay, and the Bitcoin dominance is the regular candles. Bitcoin is obviously trending upwards. Bitcoin dominance is trending downwards. Generally speaking, Bitcoin dominance forms market patterns. We spoke about this yesterday, and based on the movement of the directional break of those market patterns on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin moves. Now, Bitcoin dominance is actually broken down from a descending channel formation, and hence it stands to reason we could see Bitcoin break downwards from its descending channel formation. So, who knows, but that's certainly not good for Bitcoin as well. So I just want to wrap up the video here because I don't want to go on and on about a bunch of basically indecisive charts, but I will say this just to wrap up the video. Essentially, the longer term looks absolutely excellent. There's no doubt about that. As long as we're above 32K on weekly chart, monthly chart, we're looking good. Longer term looks great. Cyclical theory is on track. It's just the short term, medium term that's throwing a bit of dust in the air, specifically momentum indicators, being bearish for Bitcoin. Ethereum's at resistance right now, and we don't really have any valid market pattern. I would say personally that the best thing you can do as a trader right now is probably not trade too much or don't overexpose yourself. Even though the market leans bearish, there's just that, as I said, the lack of market pattern just makes it very difficult to have any degree of precision about what's going on. But yes, technically, based on what we have, Bitcoin is leaning bearish right now. And bearish in a good way, I will say as well. Bearish for a healthy retest after a 44% move to the upside. So guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the Bitget exchange and the Bingx exchange. Now, Bingx is a global non-KYC exchange. You can sign up with just an email address and a password. And Bingx is global KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world except the United States of America. So depending on your geographical location or what you're looking for from an exchange, go ahead and pick one of these exchanges. I would say if you can, probably do Bitget. But if you can't, Bingx is a great exchange as well. That I personally use Bingx and Bitget, both of them. So go ahead and sign up using my referral link to either of these exchanges and you'll get the same reward. It's a 15% trading fee discount for life on either exchange and also access to an exclusive reward center in which you can gain literally thousands of dollars in USDT rewards by completing various tasks. So that's for both exchanges. Go ahead and sign up using my links below. If you're interested in doing that, help yourself, help the channel. And then also, guys, the Become a Trader 10-unit course will teach you everything you need to know about trading, charting, analysis, market psychology, what even is Bitcoin. Everything you need to know in order to become a proficient trader is on this course. And you can check out the website in the description below. And our email address is on there as well. I've just highlighted it on the screen so you can see it. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers.